Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 5 of How to Move On After the Abuse is Over. I am Laura Beth Culbert. I am a life coach and also an author of 2 ebooks, one that deals with narcissistic healing and abuse. And I am also the author of this current course that you are following called How to Move On After the Abuse is Over. I welcome you to day 5 as we are about to learn healing your neurons from trauma bonding. Many people are talking about trauma bonding these days. It's a very big popular topic, and I thought it would be a great idea to include it in this course. Because in order to understand how to move on, you need to understand what attached you and drew you to this person in the first place. So first of all, let's realize that originally you wanted a mommy, a caregiver, a true caregiver, or that special someone in your life that could fill that emptiness and that void that you had. And you saw the narcissist, this wonderful, amazing person that had you so in awe, as the person that was going to become that to you. They were going to be that void filler for you. So you formed an unhealthy and strong attachment to them while longing for and believing for this to be the case. You wanted them to be your everything. You wanted them to be everything they promised you that they were. This can feel very much to you like a drug dependency after a while or an addiction. Because in reality, as we're going to learn when we take account of the neurological standpoint on this, it very much is an addiction, and it does involve your brain just like an addiction does. Now, to compound things, if it was a spiritual relationship you had, like in my case, it was a mentor. If it was a spiritual relationship, then the narcissist will use your admiration of their spiritual knowledge and wisdom and their expertise. They'll use this to help establish this dependency of you on them. In a business situation, a bond can be formed around a promotion that they promise you, praise and adoration they're giving you for a job well done. It can be anything that bonds you to a narcissist. For instance, in a friendship, the narcissist will create a bond with you by the promises that they make you about giving you gifts or taking you places, social activities, exciting trips together, possibly marriage or moving in together if it's a more intimate relationship like a partnership. And also, they can promise that you will be their one and only. So, exclusivity is also a promise that they use. All of this bonds you to the narcissist. But after a while, as you've learned, the narcissist grows tired of you for whatever reason, or you start to see through their facade and you start peeling off their deceptive mask. So at that point, the narcissist needs to devalue you and replace you so they have supply again. When they devalue and replace you and walk away from you, it's a shock to your system. We call this disillusionment or cognitive dissonance. It means it goes against everything you understand to be true about the altruistic, decent human being. A decent human being doesn't treat you the way this person just did. So it confuses you and baffles you, and you can't wrap your mind around it because a very common thing I hear with my clients is, I would never do that to somebody. And indeed, you wouldn't because you have something that the narcissist lacks. And we'll talk about that in a moment. You know what they did to you. You know how they treated you in the end after all their love bombing ended and they decided you weren't the one for them. You know they smeared your name, criticized you, maybe even turned your friends against you, threatened you, used your own fears against you. You know that they're not healthy friends nor healthy partners. But why can't you just walk away? See, listen, the way our brain is set up, there are chemicals that function in certain ways that keep us attached. And sometimes this is a good thing if it's a healthy relationship, and sometimes it's not. In this case, we're talking about when it is not. Similar to when a person feels a sort of reward upon meeting a healthy person, a new friend that turns out to be a decent person, there are still feelings of euphoria with the narcissist and connection that you experience when you meet them. Unfortunately, these chemicals are still at work, whether the relationship is toxic or non toxic. Even when the relationship ends, after it's all done and over with, the narcissist has replaced you, discarded you, devalued you, treated you like dirt, and they've moved on. You're experiencing the confusion of what on earth just happened there. And even so, you are still somehow driven to maintain or reestablish this attachment that you had with them. So, what's going on there? Let's try to understand. A chemical called oxytocin, it's a hormone. It's released when you're triggered by the odd behaviors of an abuser. Just like I said, it's released in positive situations. It's also released in negative situations, especially with the narcissist. Unfortunately, your stress level in both positive and negative circumstances is controlled by this chemical. An emotional part of your brain, known as the amygdala, is turned on in abusive relationships, resulting in an actual addiction to a toxic person. This is why it's not so easy or nearly impossible, sometimes it is impossible, to let go and move on. A narcissist also enforces this bond with you because of their abrupt mood changes. It almost seems like the narcissist has multiple personalities in many cases. I don't call them mood swings because these changes can be so abrupt as to seem literally like you are with a totally different person. When the narcissist is happy with you, their supply source, they will appear young and vibrant, happy, and sound upbeat. But when the narcissist is unhappy because you've started to peel away their mask of deception, or you're confronting them or questioning them, you will notice that they go into a depressive funk. They might even seem older, tireder, have trouble sleeping. They're truly miserable and very depressed. And it's a depression that's unlike typical depression. This is a depression you literally cannot pull them out of until their mind switches and they come out of it. This further cements your thinking that they need you to pull them out or to stay there and enjoy life with them or let them abuse you. Because after all, look at them, they're just suffering so badly and they need you. This is not true. They don't need you, but you are convinced that without you, this person cannot survive. All right. So, from that point on, you're still driven to maintain this attachment, this connection. You cannot just walk away. We have decided that it's not as easy as just getting over it, like some people are telling you to do. So, what does healing after the narcissist abuse ends actually look like? How are you going to get past this? How will you break this attachment and this connection? First of all, you have to get to the place where you see yourself as separate from this abuser, physically leaving if possible. Now, I know that's easier said than done, so we'll talk about that too. Self thoughts and self talk. What are you telling yourself? What's going through your mind at this point while you're stuck in this relationship you feel like you can't get out of? Are you telling yourself, I need them? Oh, it's not as bad as I think it is. They don't always act like that. Look at the gifts they gave me. Look at how much they loved me last night. They were telling me how they adored me and couldn't see their lives without me. And, just love bombing you, basically. And it goes back and forth. It goes from love bombing to devaluing to a little bit more love bombing. Listen, the thing is, they will do anything they can to maintain their supply because that is all you are to them, is an object of supply. So if love bombing you is what keeps you as their supply source, they will do it. If putting you down and making you feel ashamed or guilty is how they can keep you, they'll do that too. The next thing you need to do is choose healthy self care, whether that comes from the Bible or a book like The Language of Letting Go or some sort of self help book, whatever it is that it takes for you to love yourself again, to learn who you are, to take care of yourself. That needs to happen in order to break free from these people because it very much is a neurological addiction. And the way to end an addiction is to replace it by something healthier. I would never tell you to end an addiction and not tell you to find something to replace it. That would be foolish Because, for instance, people that are alcoholics may stop drinking but might start smoking or eating. People that stop smoking start eating. Everybody knows this. Why? Because there is a neurochemical situation going on in your brain that it has to attach to something. And if the one substance is not there, it needs to find something else. So it will find anything it can, healthy or unhealthy. That's why I encourage you to form healthy bonds with people and establish healthy relationships. The best thing for you to do is have new friends and no contact or low contact with your abuser. This is crucial for your healing process. Even former friends that you once deserted in favor of the narcissist, that the narcissist chased away and isolated you from, can help you heal and move on. When you're with a supportive person, your helpful brain chemicals will kick in. Dopamine and serotonin are the ones that control your moods and your feelings of well being, which can calm you, give you hope, and help you be at peace and even happy again. This comes from human contact with healthy people. Stop looking for the magic wand that could have made the narcissist love you and want to be with you. They don't have the wiring for that. Don't try to manipulate someone who wants to leave you to get them to stay. You're a human being, not a human doing. You weren't put on this earth to be somebody's servant and slave. You are not evil for not feeling loving towards your abuser when they're abusing you. That's perfectly normal, and it's okay to tell yourself that. Stop apologizing for having an opinion or for asking for help or even for just existing. It's okay to enjoy your life. It's okay to explore with makeup or clothing. It's okay to be you. It's okay to have morals and values that don't objectify who you are, that celebrate your uniqueness as an individual and a human being. Celebrate the wonder of who you are. Establish a healthy human body. How do you do this? And we're going to cover this more in the next video. But you take care of yourself. You learn what things you enjoy, apart from what this person was telling you to do and who he was telling you to be. Limit or cut off contact with the narcissist. You don't owe them the right to have you as their puppet. That's what it's all about. Moving on is finding yourself again and letting go of the abusive other that sought to control you and form you into what they wanted you to be. You deserve it. You're worth it. But you have to believe that yourself. I can't make you believe that, but I can tell you I believe that about you. Stay tuned for day number 6 when we talk about doing the opposite of what you want to do. But first, we will look at one more time an honest look at what happened. Stay tuned for day 6. Blessings to everybody, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.